Hey, welcome everybody to the From the Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Shane Grove, and with me as always is the super producer, Jason.
Greetings, everyone.
So we're coming from steamy Northcentral, Ohio right now. And so I hope it is nice and steamy wherever you're listening to the show from today, because I don't want you to miss out on my shorts sticking to my every other part of my body.
Nobody needs to know about that, Shane.
Oh man, I know we're in the thick of summer, man, but we're feeling it here, especially not. I know it's bad everywhere else, so
say a prayer. It's humid.
So say a prayer for everybody. But hey, joining us on the show today is an interesting dude with a great story. Jason, he was brought to us by our good buddy and international movie star Chris Hahn.
Absolutely, yeah.
Star of the recently released Escape from Death Block 13. How about that? Yep. We'll give the movie a plug.
Oh yeah.
So joining us is Robert, aka Smooth. What's happening, Smooth?
Hey, how you doing, my man?
We're doing.
Yep.
All right.
So Robert, I was told by, like I said, we already plugged Chris Hahn. I mean, he should pay us, Jason. What do you think?
Oh, he should. He's gonna pay us. He's gonna pay us no attention. That's about it.
I was wondering about all of that.
Yeah.
Well, we're better than his agent. I'm just going to tell you that.
Okay.
So Chris sent me a text and says, "Hey, I work out with this guy at the gym, Robert, also known as Smooth, that has a Bigfoot story, and I'm not going to turn down talking to somebody that's got a Bigfoot story." So Robert, why don't you tell our worldwide listening audience a little bit about how you got to be where you were when you had your sighting, and just kind of tell us, all the events that led up to it, and what happened afterwards.
Okay. Well, back in I would say '89, I was working at Sugardale Foods out of Canton, Ohio, and we deliver meat everywhere. All over Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And this particular time, we was delivering meat up to Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium. So we was headed to Pittsburgh, and it was an accident or something happened on the highway right around Sharon, Pennsylvania. So, all the truck drivers, they be knowing these little back routes and stuff, and somehow we took this little gravel road to go around the accident, and you could tell hardly no cars ever go on this road. It was back in the woods. It was just crazy. And I just happened to be looking over, and I saw something sitting there on a stump, and it jumped straight up. And then it just ran almost in the woods, but it walked real fast. It was about 7, 8 feet tall, hairy, big thing. And at that time, I hadn't paid no attention to no Bigfoot. I looked back at my truck driver to ask him, did he see it? And the first thing he said was, "Smooth, what is that?" And I said, "Damn, man." I said, "I think we just saw one of them Bigfoot things."
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even turn to look to see who it was. We startled it so bad, it just jumped up and walked into the woods, and it was gone in a few minutes.
Wow.
And so that was the last I ever seen of one. I wish I could see another one, because that really shocked the heck out of me. And I think I ridiculed a lot by telling my story, but I can't do nothing but tell the truth. I know what I saw, and I'll never let nobody make me think I didn't see a Bigfoot. I know they out there.
Well, I mean, Jason and I certainly know that part of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like you said, I've been some back roads in Pennsylvania that nobody, I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people are traveling down. And if you're, if you're an animal or something like that, you're not going to expect,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd have felt good if I'd have seen that sitting on the stump, and then once it got up, it was on 4 legs and ran away. Then I'd have known it was a bear.
Right.
But this thing stood straight up on 2 legs. It was not small. It was big. He was definitely a grown Bigfoot. And he just walked into them woods, man, in a real hurry. Like, he can't believe somebody that came up through the street, So, I mean, it was really a shocking thing. I wish I had a cell phone back then. I just got a picture, but it wasn't out.
Now, tell me, did you guys think for 1 second about stopping and going like in
no, because he was gone. No, because it was going so fast. We just had to make a delivery, and we was already running late, and the truck driver just kept driving. But me and him both seen it, and because I wanted to make sure he seen it, and he seen it just as quick as I did.
Wow. See, and that's the best. I mean, that's the best kind of sighting, is to have somebody see it with you to make sure you're not crazy.
Yeah, that verifies that you saw what you saw. Yeah, you were absolutely right.
Right. Yeah, I definitely saw it in Sharon, Pennsylvania. And I've heard that most of the sightings are in New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, as far as a lot of sightings.
Yes. Yep.
So
there seems to be. Yeah. A lot of people think that the majority of sightings happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because it's all
because
all the same.
My son saw his in Michigan.
Oh yeah. Don't give away your son's. Don't give away your son's sighting, because we'll just let everybody know that a little bit later. We're gonna talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk.
I'm not gonna tell his story. I'm gonna let him tell it.
Now, since he's not on here. So what? This is the funny part when I talk to you. So what, how many people, so you and the other guy are driving down the road, how long did you guys talk about? I mean, it's got to be a stunning sight to see something.
Oh, man, we talked about that the rest of the day. I mean, I be on 16-hour trips when I go to work for Cicadel Foods, because we got to count the driving hours and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So after we seen it, man, that was a conversation for all day. Because that's something that's a rare thing. You don't see nothing like that walking around,
Nah,
and we just couldn't believe it. He kept saying, ain't nobody going to believe him. I said, nobody will believe me either, but we know what we seen. So,
now, did you get a look at? Did you get a look at a face or anything, or was it just turned to the side? Just okay.
No, he wouldn't even turn around. I say he was probably about maybe 30 yards from us, and he wouldn't even turn around, man. He just got up and walked in the woods. We startled the hell out of him. And I've never known none of them to attack no human being, no how. So, it fits.
Yep.
It fits. When you see them, they try to get away from you. They ain't trying to do nothing to you.
Yep, that's what I hear. Multiple accounts from people. Yes.
Yeah. I recently retired 3 months ago, so I'm thinking about another profession. I'm thinking about being a Bigfoot hunter.
I will tell you this: Northeast Ohio is a hotbed. I mean,
that's what I heard.
We're getting a lot of reports from people here in Ohio. They're figuring out, man, we're going to tell us for some. I'm glad people are getting a hold of us to tell us. But I mean, there was one supposedly seen in Ashland. We know people that see them all the time in and around the Oberlin area. I just talked to a guy yesterday who has been seeing a family of them in Newton Falls, which is all it's all up around Cleveland. So
you see a lot of them down in Cambridge too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You heard about the salt pork. What is it?
Salt Fork State Park
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Southwest State Park.
Yep.
They done had a few sightings down in there. I went over there to try to catch me one because I was fascinated when I heard. So I drove down there, and they got a Bigfoot replica down there inside of the building.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they have a big conference. Once a year there for Bigfoot. We just had the naturalist from Salt Fork on the podcast a couple episodes ago, and
Yep.
you know he was talking about Bigfoot in the conference and what he's experienced down there. You know, so
Right.
yeah, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal in Ohio, and you're right. Most of the sightings right now are coming from that same area where you're talking about. Everybody thinks it's
Right.
in Washington and Oregon and California, but I mean, it's Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and upstate New York are really hot. And the terrain's all about the same. You know, when you get on the eastern side of Ohio, it's the same as West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and maybe not as mountainous, but it's good territory to hide if you don't want to.
I know I seen that. I had to have a picture with it. So I had to take a picture with that replica. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably send it to you if you want it.
Yeah, we'll put it up on the
Sure.
we'll put it up on the forum.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. I'll send it to you after we hang up.
All right.
So what did I want the audience to hear this. So when you told your son what you saw, what was his response?
Oh man, he laughed and talked about me, called me crazy. I said, man, I'm telling you, man, what I seen. He said, Dad, them things don't exist. I said, okay. I said, well, hey, you believe what you want. I know what I seen. So then, maybe a month or so later, he calls me from Michigan. He says, Dad, I saw one of them things, As soon as he said it, I knew what he was talking about, but I wanted him to say the words. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. What you mean? He said, I saw one of them things. Them things. I said, what thing you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. He said, Dad, a Bigfoot. I said, oh, really? I said, when you see yours? He said, I was going to work. He said, and the thing just ran across the street, took about 3-4 steps. It ran across the street and jumped over a fence, I said, oh, really? He said, Dad, unless it was Shaquille O'Neal in a Bigfoot uniform, I know what I seen.
So all of a sudden the old man's not so crazy then, right?
Yeah, now he's eating the crow. So, but yeah, I mean, like I say, he'll let you know. He'll let you know. And I told him, I believe you, son. Don't nobody else believe it. I believe you.
So
I'm glad you finally believe me.
So what? So obviously, then your interest got piqued in the subject. So I mean, have you done some of your own research and reading and watching some stuff to kind of? I mean, what do you think Bigfoot? What do you think it is that you saw? I mean, we're calling it Bigfoot, but what do you think it is out there running around?
Well, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know where the things come from. I really, really don't. We've never seen an alien, out of a UFO. People got them as little green things with big eyes. That's what everybody got them as. But that's not necessarily got to be the truth. When I was 12, 13 years old, I had a friend stay right next door to me, and his thing was about UFOs, and he was all into UFOs, had UFO magazines everywhere. I couldn't believe it. And so I go over there and I, read some of the magazines, and you can see, where UFOs are supposedly landed on Earth. But when they got out, they wasn't little green men. They looked like Bigfoot. That's what they looked like in this one magazine. And I was like, Dad, that's what the aliens look like? I'm just a 12, 11-year-old kid. I ain't thinking about this stuff, And when I finally seen one, that's what came back to my mind automatically, that it was an alien. But at the same time, I don't know. I can't really tell you, but I don't know how true this book is or not. But I guess the aliens that got out of this UFO that landed, they was walking around. They showed them walking around in front of their craft, and they were Bigfoots. They wasn't little green men with big black eyes. You know?
Yeah.
So that obviously was probably maybe somebody's account of seeing a UFO and seeing what they were describing. I'm guessing is probably what you were reading. Right? Yeah, somebody's eyewitness
Maybe.
account.
All I know is they showed the picture of the photograph of them walking around in front of the craft, and they were Bigfoot. And I laughed at it because I was just a kid. I ain't think nothing of that stuff, man. And then here in '89, I seen one that took me back to that memory, you know. But at the same time, who knows where the things come from, man? I just know what I saw.
Well, you know, there's a lot of accounts.
I can't do nothing but tell you the truth.
Yeah, there's all kind of accounts of orbs being seen around these things. You know, I mean, we just don't know. It's some supernatural element. Then we're dealing with a physical creature too. I mean, it's just some things that we just don't have the answers for. I don't know how to put it.
No, we don't. I mean, you know, we're not alone in this universe, but
That's
some
right.
people think we are, you know, but we're not.
Yeah,
so,
I
mean,
believe that for sure.
What makes you think that, you know, there's life here, intelligent life here on this planet, why can't it be on some other planet? You know, I mean, that's only common sense.
Right. And especially there's so many millions of galaxies out there, and they all have a Goldilocks zone. There's a lot of suns out there that's similar to what we have. What makes you think, with all those possibilities, that there isn't life that has manifested on some of those planets?
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Then why are they sending Bigfoot to us?
Well, I think maybe the Bigfoot.
You know, I think
advanced.
they like our atmosphere. They like our atmosphere. They like the woods.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. You know, they know they can hide and, you know, whatever, because they're part of woods in this country that's so thick and dense. Can't nobody get up in them.
That's true.
And ain't nobody trying to get up in them because there's no reason to get up in them, you know.
Right.
And then if you by chance happen to decide you want to do a picnic and see something big walking around, what is it? It can't be no man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got no business being out there in the middle of nowhere for what? And putting on a monkey suit? I mean, you know, come on, let's keep it 100.
Right.
You know, it's a Bigfoot. Simple as that.
Yeah, I would have to say, you know what you saw, and it's not a man. There's two choices. It's either a bear was sitting on a stump and got up and walked away on 2 feet, which we know does not happen.
Exactly.
Or it was a Bigfoot. I mean, because you're right. What's a guy doing? And why would a guy jump up and run away just because a truck?
And what would he be doing back there? There's nothing back there but wood.
Exactly.
There's nothing back there but wood. He's sitting on a stump or something.
And wearing a hot
suit. And like I said, when it got up, and when he got up, he walked on 2 feet. He walked into the woods. He didn't walk on 4 feet.
Yeah.
And he was a good 7 feet tall, 8. I know that for sure. But I wasn't about 30 yards away from the thing.
Yeah.
So I know it was tall. I know it was big. It was about 3 inches, 3 feet wide. It was a big, big thing.
Well, Robert, I certainly hope that when you decide to embark on this next part of your life and become a Bigfoot researcher and hunter, that you have another experience, because I mean, because you've seen it. So I mean, for all the people that have not, and I gotta be honest, you've had the sighting that almost everybody that has a sighting that's face to face really has. I mean, they're the one. They all say, "Yeah, I'd like to see one again," as I drove by it. Well, you got to do that and got to witness it with somebody else, so you weren't scratching your head, wondering. Because I am sure if you saw that just by yourself, you might have been like, "Man, did I really see that? Was I?"
Right. But the beauty of it all was looking back to tell the truck driver, and he asked me, "Smooth, what was that?" You know, and that's what I told him. I said, "I think we just saw a Bigfoot, man. I couldn't believe it." You know,
I love it.
So that's the deal. I wish I knew where he was at now, but I live in Mansfield now, and he's in Canton. So I wish I knew where that guy was at.
You might have to go pick.
I know he done,
go pick him up. Pick him up.
I know he done told his. I know he done told his story many a time, same as me.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully somebody will hear this episode and say, "Hey, you used to drive truck with a guy named Smooth, right?" And he'd be like, "Yeah. I heard him on a podcast telling him about you really did see a Bigfoot. You really
Wouldn't
did."
that be nice?
If that is the case.
Wouldn't that be nice? That would be my proof right there.
That's right. Have him to contact us, and we would get in contact with you and reunite you guys back together, and hopefully
that would be
together.
Nice.
Yeah.
I say I don't need the proof anyhow, because the proof is my belief.
Right.
You know, I know what I saw. So.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come. First of all, I don't know how you got on the subject of Chris Hahn, but I'm glad that Chris Hahn, I'm glad he was paying attention.
Yes.
And got a hold of me.
That's right.
Yeah, Chris is a good dude. He's a good dude, man.
Yep.
Good dude.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time and coming on and talking to us, and I can't wait to get your son on here and hear his story, and then give him a bunch of grief for giving the old man such a hard time.
I hear that. Really. So, okay, well, that sounds good.
All right.
So when will I hear from you guys again?
We'll let you know. We'll be in touch.
I just want to know how it's going to turn out, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey,
Yep.
It'll turn out.
Okay.
It'll turn out great. Don't trust me.
Okay.
So
well, I'm gonna send you that picture I told you when I get done.
Yeah, text me that picture. We'll put it up with the clip for when we promo this episode.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That'd be perfect. Yeah, put that up on the teaser this week. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, I'm gonna send it to that number here in a minute.
All right.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
So,
all right.
Hey, thanks, fellas. Fellas. Y'all have a good day, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Smooth. You too. You take it easy now.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Peace.
Yep, no problem. Yep. Bye.
So, welcome, everyone. We're going to talk now to Smooth Jr., since we just talked to Smooth the First, or Smooth Senior. Should we call him Smooth Senior? Would we be mad at that if he hears this?
Nah, he should be cool with it.
So we've heard your dad's story about where he was and what he saw, and so he told us that you have an equally as good a sighting, and we want to hear about it. So tell us what the events were that led up to your sighting.
All right. Well, it was probably about 9:00 at night one night. I was on my way to work. I was riding down the highway, and I was literally probably the only car out there. And I was just, cruising along. And once I get to this certain point on the highway, there's a set of trees on both sides of the highway. And something ran across the highway on 2 feet that was like, it had to be like 8-9 feet tall. It was hairy. It was either black or brown, but it ran on 2 feet across the highway into the trees onto the other side. And I have no explanation as to what it could have been.
Now this is, I'm sure, a route, right? Did you travel it every day?
Every day. Yep, every day.
And this is up in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you comfortable telling everybody like what part of Michigan it is?
It was this The city would have probably been New Boston, Michigan. The highway was 275 south, right at the Sibley Road exit, right past Sibley Road exit.
Now, what is like? So you said there's trees on both sides of the road. Like, is it like just some trees, or is it like some big woods on both sides of the?
It's woods on one side, and then it's like trees in the middle. So like it ran from the middle back to the wooded area, basically.
Oh, so like the medium in the highway has trees.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And some people may not be from an area where there are trees in the median, which if you do a lot of traveling, you're going to come across that, and that's kind of weird. That is kind of weird, where it's like there's a big forest. And they just made a 4-lane highway through the woods and couldn't even take the trees down in between. Like the trees act like in the middle kind of act like the concrete barrier or whatever to keep the cars from.
Yep.
Now is that, so how long after your dad had his sighting did you have this experience?
But he said he saw his like years, a long time ago. Mine was probably like 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
Yeah,
And so this whole time, you thought he was crazy.
I didn't think he was crazy because I just wanted to believe him because my dad, and just the way he explained it, like it's kind of hard to think he would make that up. So, like, he was in too much detail about it. So it was, like, just hard to believe they even make that up. So I actually believed him when he told me.
Yeah. Now, hey, he paints a picture like you just thought he was crazy. So
no, everybody did, but I pretty much believed him. Like, you're not gonna just make that up.
Well, and that's what we kind of find talking to people is that either people are like, I'm just telling the story because this is what I saw and I don't care what people say, or I'm just not telling anybody because people are going to think I'm crazy. And there's nothing to gain from making up a story and telling anybody something, especially to go into detail.
My dad is actually the only person I've actually even told about it, just because of that reason.
Really? So you didn't say any?
I didn't really know, because people, think you're crazy and all this and that. And at least he had seen one, so it was a lot easier to explain to him. So they just made it a little easier.
Wow. So what did you think, man? I mean, like, what did you think you were seeing? Like, you didn't.
I honestly had no explanation, and it's just like I told my dad. The only explanation that I have is if Shaquille O'Neal had a gorilla suit and ran across the freeway.
Wow. That's a
thought right there. If it wasn't that, I couldn't tell you what it was.
Oh, well, that explains it then. He must have been there.
It was about his size. I don't know.
See, if you'd have stopped, I'll bet Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith would have been in the wood line, getting ready to jump. Ernie Johnson had already run across. You'd missed him. They were
their timing was a little off. Yeah.
So do you think this creature like even knew you were coming, or did it look at you at all, or just took off?
It did. It ran, and it was fast. It flew across. I don't think it knew I was coming. I have no idea. I don't even know how to explain it.
Did you think about stopping and turning around, or did you like I'm trying to picture like what I was just like, okay, did I just really see that? Like, because I thought I might have just been going crazy, honestly.
So I just kept going. Like I wasn't close enough to where I could have hit it or nothing, but I definitely saw it.
Wow.
It just tripped me out that it was on 2 feet and it ran across the freeway.
Jeez. And you wonder why. Okay, so you wonder why, like deer, they're when it comes to that, they're some of the dumbest things around. But these creatures seem to have a little more in human-like intelligence. Now, of course, humans do really dumb things, but why on earth, if you're the only guy out there, is it just wanting to dart out in front of you, and not just wait like a second and you're like flying by?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind, but I don't know, it was just too clear. I don't know.
No. How did this? I mean, because a lot of people say they have experiences like this, and it really changes. Like talking to your dad. I mean, he really, he's like, look, I'm retired. I want to go out and start looking for this thing. I started, reading stuff and listening to stuff to kind of educate myself on what it was. And he's like, I can't wait. I want to go see another one. How has your experience affected your outlook on this whole thing? I mean, is it something you want to see again? Did you want to find out more about it, or are you just like, man, I hope I never see it?
Or more importantly, would you want to work with your father in trying to find this thing?
A father.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that. I would like to, me and him try to find one, but I just hope that it doesn't charge us or nothing.
Right. Understandable.
I would like to see somebody actually get one, with a clear picture instead of it being blurry or 600 yards away, far away. It's always like a blurry picture when you see one.
Think about that. Even if you had a dash camera on, I mean, how good a picture?
I wouldn't have got it that good. Nope.
Yeah, and if you were taking like a video of it, it would have had to have passed by so fast that
it did. Yeah, I wouldn't have got it good. Nope.
And people would have said, "Oh, that's Shaquille O'Neal in a monkey suit running across the."
Man, I'm telling you, that's a pep man.
Plus,
that was the only explanation.
Yeah, I think these things have better hearing than like a dog. I really do. I think they can see a little better than us in dark. They're more attuned to their own environment, and I think he knew that he was in no danger of being hit by you. He probably heard you coming, did what he had to do, and just decided to just run out across there far enough ahead of time. Yeah, where he knew he was in no danger. And he would be
he was. I definitely wasn't close enough to hit him.
Right.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing, though. If you could have got him, if you could have somehow captured him and got him to learn how to run, plays for the Lions could probably use a guy like that to
be going to the Super Bowl for the next decade.
maybe play tackle or defensive end or something.
Oh, man. If it comes to the point to where they need to get a Bigfoot to help them,
maybe that's the missing link. That's what they need. That's the key right there.
Yeah. We about trying anything at this point.
Right.
Oh man. Well, so are you? I mean, is this something? So yeah, you want to go out and maybe look for one with your dad. I mean,
yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
Hey, listen, I think with a producer's mind, Jason, I think this could be a show.
I think it could. I think we can definitely track their trials. Yeah.
I think this could be a real popular show on the Discovery Channel for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, you talk about an entertaining couple of guys that going out and I think that's the ticket right there, man.
And that's a more
think that's the
realistic
ticket.
team that would actually be able to find something, because you cannot be out there in the woods with 15 people involved in your crew trying to hunt a Bigfoot, making noise and everything, lugging equipment around and everything, and expect the Bigfoot not to know that you're there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Now, since you said you haven't said anything to anybody other than your dad, like, so what do your peer group, I mean, do you think there's people in your peer group that have experienced stuff like this and they're just like you and like, I'm not saying anything?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that one. No, I mean, like I said, nobody I've ever been around has ever said anything about one. So I don't really know. They could just be keeping it to themselves.
Well, that particular area that you were traveling through to go to work, that's Bigfoot country. So I imagine there's other people, but for the same reasons, they probably didn't want to tell anybody because they're worried about what people will think of their mental state, their mens rea.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Well, and that's also up there in Michigan, around there is Dogman territory.
Yes,
that's where some of the most some of the most famous Dogman sightings. I mean, crying out loud, there's a song. Some dude in Michigan made a Dogman song. So, I mean,
holy cow! I didn't know that.
You never heard of the dog? Oh my gosh, you have to look that up on YouTube. Because there is a real famous sighting that happened in more northern Michigan there, and I mean, there's a song about it. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. But there's some really good sightings where up there it's like pretty aggressive, So, and that's just, those were the sightings. And here's the thing. So some people may listen and be like, I can't believe there's anything like a Dogman or whatever. You've had something run across the road that you can't explain, that so you're looking and like, okay, I mean, if a 8-foot hairy creature ran across the road in front of me, Lord knows what else is out there,
Exactly.
I mean, if that's what's in a semi-populated, well-traveled area, what's 50 miles deep in the Northern Peninsula?
Yeah,
where nobody.
Area. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
These cryptids do exist. I mean, people see them, but it's they don't want to say anything. They're worried.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope that by you and your dad coming on, I mean, because look, you guys are just regular guys going to work and seeing this stuff. It's not like you're out camping. You're not out setting up trail cams. You're not, just a couple average Joes. Minding your own business, going to work, and you both have seen something that has probably changed you a little bit. I know I can tell your dad's, it's kind of changed him to the fact where, like I said, he wants to go out and really find one and do some research and stuff. And I think that's kind of cool because, before that, you guys were probably the guys that would say, oh man, those things don't exist. How could they?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to say I'm glad that it ran out in front of you, but I think that you guys are the kind of people that when this happens to are the ones that we need to hear from, because it's not like you were a believer. It's not like you were out there looking for them and you had the experience. And that's the cool part. Nobody can take that away. Nobody can take that away.
Not at all. I know what I saw, and that's what I saw.
Yeah, and think about this. There's thousands of people who what you experienced, they'd be like winning the lottery to them. That's how. That's what it means. That's what it means. So I guess you should either feel super lucky or you should feel like, man, they could have it. I don't know.
I'm glad I saw one. I'm happy I saw one. I am. It put a lot of questions put to ease because they are definitely out there.
Well, I am glad. I'm glad that we got to talk to you and your dad. And yeah, if you guys do put something together where you're going to go out and start, like, we'd love to hear about your adventures and what you guys might find and stuff. I think it would be pretty interesting. Some pretty interesting stories for sure. You know,
for sure.
Plus you get to hang out with your dad. You know.
Oh yeah, that's always
that would be the best part right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's always.
Hey, Bigfoot bringing families together. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That's a theme right there.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, and to our fans, when this show is released, if there's anybody else in that area that has had a sighting and they finally feel they got the courage that they want to like reach out and tell us about it, or go behind the scenes and tell us about it, they can contact us at FromTheShadowsChannel@gmail.com. FromTheShadowsChannel@gmail.com.
Or just go to FromTheShadowsPodcast.com and
off of the website. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a contact form there as well.
Yeah, Jason, you always try to make it so difficult. Come on, man. Don't throw in the channels.
Well, no, that's just another website, and there's a lot of people that they send us comments and they send us information about their sightings. They
is that
use
where you're
one
getting?
a lot. Yeah.
Is that where you're getting all the fan mail?
Yeah.
Is that where you're having all the fan mail?
Yeah, I'm getting it from the Shadows Channel at gmail.com. Yeah, they're sending stuff.
Oh my God! So send all your 8x10 fan letters and pictures to Jason, the super producer. Well, Smooth, I'm glad that you joined us this morning, and I appreciate you coming on and telling the story. And I want to say you're a lucky dude to get to see that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And share that with your dad. So.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate that, and you know what? If somebody hears you on here that knows you and says, "Hey, man, you know what I saw," put them in touch with us.
Yes,
because we'd love to hear them. Love to hear.
I will. I most definitely will. I definitely will.
So I appreciate you. I'm sure the fans, all the listeners, loved you guys' stories, and if you can catch one, I do think the Lions probably would appreciate bringing them to training camp and just give them a try.
Oh yeah. Super Bowl bound.
That's right.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and looking forward to this episode coming out. So we'll talk to you on down the road then.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. All right. Take care.
Thanks, too.
Right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.